Hey, this is Sam Black with my 5th match with Blue-Red Reveler on the play, and I have a medium hand that I'm going to keep on the strength of Faithless Looting at fixing hands like this. Let's lead with a probe. Try to find a Swift Spear. And just see what's up. Playing against Red-Green Tron. Sphere, Star, Map, Forest, Power Plant, Tower. So, not a lot of time to mess around. Fortunately, my life total is not that important, so let's just be aggressive with it. Don't need lands. Alright, that's probably pretty good. I think I can get Mountain here, though. I think I'd like to have access to the Steam events in my deck. And saving the life is trivial, but something. Lets me use it more aggressively later for probes, if nothing else. Okay, so I can visions, or I could Faithless Looting to try to discard a Visions. And then cast Visions, which potentially gets Pyromancer Ascension going faster. I think it's better to just cast the Visions. I'm going to bottom this Ascension. I hope my opponent doesn't just immediately Karn me. Visions again. Triggering Ascension. And now next turn I can... we'll put this on top and this on top as a precaution. And then pass the turn. Hope my opponent doesn't do anything absurd, specifically Karn. Worm Coil or something I could deal with, even if it kills me in 2 attacks and gains a bunch of life. Alright, cycling I can handle. So now I'm in a very good spot, I think. Alright, that's interesting. so I'm going to place the Arm Visions to turn on the Ascension. And then, if I want, I can play and turn on another Ascension. Bottom this, and I think I have enough card draw that I'm going to keep a full hand in a way where I don't really want Reveler. Alright, so the question now is whether I think I can fully go off. Because I can copy this Metamorphose. Alright, I think I'm going to try to. Oh yeah, okay. So now I can play Pyromancer Ascension, pay life to probe to trigger both Ascensions. Then I can probe again to turn on the second Ascension, and then I can do a lot of Metamorphosing. Pyroclasm, World Breaker. I don't think my opponent's going to get another turn. I don't even get to play another land. Alright, that's pretty good. Let's get a Swift Spear down. And now I have 3 bolts that are all tripled. I think that's just lethal. But let's cast one of these first, just for fun. Oh, that was good. Alright. I do want Spell Pierce. I don't think... Well, I definitely don't want Shatterstorm. The only real question is whether I want Shattering Spree. Because it can kill a map right away, basically, is the best thing it's doing. I think that's too narrow, and I'd rather just be proactive. I don't think I want Visions. I'm not really grinding here. Oh, and Bolt is horrible. Well, it's not horrible. It lets me kill the way that I did there, but it's definitely not at its best. You could also cut a Reveler for being slow. Let's cut a Reveler for a Grape Shot. This is interesting. This hand is really good if I draw lands early. I'm on the draw. I'm gonna very greedily keep this. certainly better to draw lands sooner rather than later. Like in a perfect world, I'll be able to save the second probe until after I Ascension, but that's not likely to happen. Let's see if I'm dead. Guess my opponent doesn't want me to know if I'm dead. Alright. Well, it's not a good hand. Grove. Sanctum. Breaker. Stone. Why would you even keep this? I guess it was a mulligan, but such a bad hand. Hope I draw a land so that I can punish it. Alright, well, I guess I can't really talk. This is going to be a painful game. I'm just going to discard while my opponent's not really doing anything. Or my opponent will just, draw perfectly and smash me. Discard Bolt because I don't want to show Spell Pierce. If I weren't worried about that, I would discard Spell Pierce. Discard extra Ascension again, I guess. My opponent has asked why, as in, I believe, why I kept this hand, which is a somewhat reasonable question, although I think the answer is fairly obviously, because I had 2 probes and the rest of it was good. I'm also maybe a little bit too used to keeping hands like this in Death Shadow, where you have more cyclers, so it's more likely to cycle into a cycler into a land. When all of my cyclers cost mana rather than not, it probably changes the equation some. Alright, I'm over it. I'm gonna cut another Reveler for a bolt. And this time I'll make sure I have a land in my hand. Especially since I'm on the play. This'll do. Let's probe. Maybe that's wrong. My opponent's never going to kill my guy for 1 mana. If I draw another Swift Spear, I just get more damage if I wait. Plus I get, well, the information's not different because I'm going to cast again next turn either way. So anyway, my opponent has 2 maps, starring as Power Plant, Worldbreaker. Which I guess is only 1 land. So the hand is potentially a little clunky. I assume that my opponent has to lead star here. Yep. I guess there's no reason not to lead probe. Oh, drawing Ascension, I guess, is the reason not to lead probe, kind of. Stirrings, map, Worldbreaker. Just gonna pay life. Need that much looting. I'm just gonna take the land. So now I can Sulphur Falls looting, discard a spell, and Reveler immediately if I want. Let's lead with the looting since I have bad cards to discard anyway, and then I can decide whether I want to... Yeah, this hand is really bad, so I think I can just Reveler here. Not what I was hoping to draw into, but at least I have a couple of Faithless Lootings. My graveyard is actually pretty bad for Pyromancer Ascension. It's just multiple copies of the same 3 cards. There's only 1 sleight of hand left in my deck, only 2 probes, only 2 lootings, and everything else doesn't trigger it, which means I'm not in a hurry to play it, which means if I don't draw something good, I'm more likely to just flashback Faithless Looting. Well, that's kind of not great for me. I guess it's a relatively good graveyard for getting Relict if I want Pyromancer Ascension to turn on, since now my deck is mostly all copies of the same cards. Alright, so let's think there's only one out exiled, yeah. What's in the deck? Lead with this, because there's no reason to lead with Ascension. Oh. That's convenient. Gotta get better results out of just casting more spells rather than playing another Swift Spear at the end of this. Bottom this. I think there's a good chance this is lethal. Let's see. 3, 5 is 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Pretty sure that's lethal. Yeah, super lethal. Whatever, a bunch of cards. Oh, even the Pyromancer Ascension's lethal, but we'll bolt. Alright, deck can race when it needs to.